What happens the moment someone questions your integrity, your motives, or your very identity? Why is our first instinct always to defend ourselves, to justify, to clarify? These reactions feel natural, even honorable. But what if they are exactly what costs us our power? Niccolò Machiavelli, the Renaissance political thinker best known for The Prince, understood human psychology with ruthless clarity. He recognized a simple but devastating truth. The moment you start defending yourself, you give away control. In this video, we dive into Machiavelli's coldest and most effective tactic: never defend yourself. Not because you're guilty, but because you're powerful. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the Mental Dose channel and join our Telegram community, where you'll get early access to new videos and insights on personal and spiritual growth. Now let's get started. In every confrontation, whether personal, professional, or public, the instinct to explain ourselves is nearly automatic. Yet in Machiavellian thinking, this instinct is fatal. When you rush to defend, you don't just respond, you concede. You accept that someone else has the authority to place you on trial. In that moment, the power dynamic shifts. Machiavelli knew that power is rooted not in truth, but in perception. And perception doesn't reward those who scramble to appear innocent. It rewards those who appear unaffected. Silence, stillness, restraint. These are not passive behaviors, but aggressive tactics of dominance. When you defend, you look guilty even if you're not. But when you stand still and let accusations pass, you force others to reconsider their own judgment. This opens the door to a more profound idea. What you project, not what you say, shapes your power. Silence in the Machiavellian sense is not retreat. It's control. It's the refusal to enter a game you did not design. When someone attacks you and you respond with nothing but stillness, you deny them the satisfaction of engagement. You make them chase. You make them explain. Human beings are uncomfortable with uncertainty. So when you say less, or nothing at all, your enemies begin to talk more, reveal more, and inevitably overextend. Their need to provoke you becomes their downfall. Machiavelli saw this in the courts of Renaissance Italy, where power wasn't just seized through force, but through psychological positioning. The silent man appeared wiser. The calm presence invited fear. The still body projected control. Tension is a powerful currency. When you withhold your reaction, you create psychological tension in the room, one that forces others to either lean in or retreat. In negotiations, courtroom dynamics, or even first impressions, the person who controls that tension dictates the rhythm of interaction. Think of a judge who pauses before delivering a verdict, or a CEO who takes a moment before responding to a challenge. This deliberate delay adds gravity to their presence. Machiavelli would argue that this tension is not accidental but cultivated. It is a form of psychological real estate. The longer you hold it, the more you dominate the emotional space around you. Throughout history, silence has been used as a political weapon. From Queen Elizabeth's opaque replies to religious tensions to modern leaders like Putin, who speaks less and shows more, the most powerful figures are those who know when not to speak. And this silence leads directly to a deeper battlefield: narrative control. Power lives in the frame of the conversation. When someone calls you arrogant, manipulative, or fake, the moment you respond with a justification, "That's not true," you misunderstood. You confirm the frame. You play within the accuser's world. You are now on their terrain. But what if you said nothing, or better yet, responded with detached curiosity? Is that how you see it? Suddenly the burden of proof shifts. They have to justify their attack. They become the performer. You become the observer. This is not just psychology, it's stagecraft, and the person who controls the spotlight controls the outcome. When you don't rise to the bait, others wonder why. Is it confidence? Is it indifference? Is it superiority? That uncertainty protects you. Before we go on, If this perspective on power and presence is shifting the way you see things, consider sharing this video with someone who needs it. And if you'd like to support more content that dives deep into strategy, psychology, and personal mastery, you can click the thanks button below. Every bit of support helps us keep bringing you sharp, timeless insights. Now let's continue. Let's take this theory into real life. You're in a meeting. A colleague says, "I don't think that plan is realistic." Most people would dive into a defense, but the Machiavellian move? Stay still, wait. Then ask, "What would you suggest?" Now they're performing. They're under pressure. You've flipped the dynamic. In relationships, it's even more subtle. Someone says, "You never care about me." The reactive response is to explain all the ways you've cared. But silence, then a calm, "That's not how I see it," carries more power. You didn't argue, you didn't submit, you stayed grounded, you held the frame. Online, where attacks are constant, the best strategy is selective response. Don't clarify, don't post long defenses, say less, or reframe the insult. People call you arrogant when they can't control you. That turns an accusation into a badge of strength. You didn't defend, you defined. Over time, this practice does more than protect you. It builds something larger. Over time, your refusal to engage in petty conflict changes how people describe you. They stop interpreting your silence as insecurity and begin to read it as depth. Your reputation shifts from reactive to reflective, from transparent to enigmatic. And the human brain, uncomfortable with ambiguity, begins to construct stories about you, stories that often exaggerate your control, your insight, even your danger. This isn't manipulation. It's the psychological effect of sustained restraint. The less you reveal, the more people invest in guessing, and in doing so, they elevate your status in their minds. Reputation, once earned this way, becomes almost self-reinforcing. Aura is the final evolution of restraint. It's the reputation you build not from your words, but from your energy. People begin to say, "He never justifies himself. He never reacts. He doesn't flinch." And that legend protects you more than any argument ever could. Machiavelli understood that power wasn't just about politics. It was about presence. And presence comes from the absence of desperation. When you no longer defend, people start to assume you don't need to. That assumption makes them careful, cautious, respectful. They project strength onto your silence, and over time that becomes your myth. In this final stage, you don't win arguments. You end them before they start. Because your stillness, your poise, your refusal to be baited, says everything they fear you might say, and more. Never defending yourself doesn't mean retreating from conflict. It means entering it on your terms. It means mastering your reactions so completely that no one can hijack your image, your pace, your control. So next time someone provokes you, pause. Hold silence. Choose precision. Let them wonder why you're not reacting, and let that silence be the message. If this video resonated with you, drop a comment below with your thoughts or experiences. How have you seen silence shift the power in your life? Subscribe to Mental Dose and join a growing community of thinkers mastering presence, clarity, and control. We're not here to react. We're here to lead. And that begins always with what you choose not to say.